What's going on, everybody? It's your brother Nubreed coming through with another live stream. I'm just going to give YouTube a few moments to send a notification out. As you enter the broadcast, make sure you are vocal. Let me know you're in here. Hello, I see Katrina Bowers in the building. It's good to see you. What is happening? I see Casper. Hello, hello. Internal Beauty is in the building. She says, good evening. Glad to have y'all present. Make sure y'all like the video on the way in. Someone says, I was just watching your previous broadcast. Yes, hopefully I'm not oversaturating. All right, I see y'all showing up. Let's see, I see Kevin Moody is in the building. What's going on, Kevin? Carrot Music is in the house. Good to see you. As you see on the screen, you have my travel agent link. Before we get started with the show, I want to post this link because, instead of going through booking.com or going through these other travel agencies, I myself have my own travel agency. And contrary to some of the lies that was told on myself, when it comes to the multi-level marketing industry that I'm a part of, we do offer a product. And that's a dangerous lie to be telling online, that we don't offer a product. In fact, we offer the most attractive product in any industry, which would be travel. The Bible says a traveled man availeth much wisdom and knowledge. So you can book travel through me. I'm not claiming to be a travel expert. This is a new founded business that I've started, and I can also help others become travel agents as well. But this is something that I hold near and dear because I'm a person who likes to travel. And also, when I book my own travel through my site, I'm able to get discounts as well as commission on my own travel. So even just if you want to become a travel agent because you like to travel, you can get discounts on your own travel. All right. So I know, right now I'm still dealing with getting a few certifications. Only got a few left. There's a lot of work, and nothing that's worth having doesn't come with work. And so the business that I'm into, the endeavor that I'm a part of, is two sides. It's the marketing side and it's the travel side. And in both sides, you can make substantial income. And so far, I've been successful in this endeavor. And I also offer you all, anybody who wants to be a part of that, you can reach me at Nubreed 404, and you can be a part of the industry as well. Now, with all that being said, all right, I see people rolling in. All right. With all that being said, Kevin Moody is in the building, Lloyd Matthews, Samia, Tamika Buckley. I'm glad to see y'all. Now, there's a YouTuber I want to react to. And I want to debunk some of the lies told. Actually, I just debunked one lie, one huge lie. A lie that is very, very malicious. And to say somebody is scamming people and doesn't have a product and is really not who they say they are is a dangerous game to play with someone. And right off the break, I just disproved that. See, it doesn't take long to disprove a lie. It doesn't take long at all. I'm in the industry of selling travel. I'm in the industry of getting other people to start a business in travel. So as quick as I just silenced the lie that's been told about me online, right? It takes hours and hours and hours and hours of content to preach a lie, to preach something that's not even true. And also, I want to say this: within the travel industry, you have no boss. There is no boss. You are your own boss. I own my own agency. I do not work for anyone. And ladies and gentlemen, it's a beautiful thing when you have an entrepreneur spirit and you understand that you can have your own business. See, ladies and gentlemen, I get a 1099 from this business. Yes, I get a 1099 because it's a legitimate business. Let's see. I have to fill this out on my taxes, all of it. Why? It's a business. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's not a scam, as people have lied and said on the internet. That's a lie. That's not true. IntelliTravel is connected with every major hotel. They got all their qualifications, all their paperwork, every hotel, and they price match. We price match. So that kind of lie is malicious, and it's going to have ramifications. There has to be ramifications when you go lying on qualified corporations that way. And I want to explain to y'all how business works. It's interesting that people can say, Nubreed, that's a pyramid scheme. Well, let me ask you this. At the job you work at, and we're going to get into the content that I'm going to react to. Let me ask you this. At the job that you work at, are you able to make the same amount of money as your CEO? If you work for Burger King right now, you got a store owner, you got a branch manager, you got a CEO, then it goes down to the employees, and it goes down to the store manager, and then there's the employees who get minimum wage. Is that not a pyramid? Is that not a pyramid? Because you're never going to make what the CEO of the company is making. You're never going to make what the CEO is making. But see, when you own your own business, it's about the work you put in. There are earners in the business I work at that have been working for a year as a travel agent, and they're making $100,000 a month. How do I know this? Because I met these people. How do I know this? Because I've shaken hands with these people. I've heard their testimonies. I've been around very successful people within this last year. So I want to make this very much clear. In the industry I work at, we work for ourselves. We have our own agencies. If you click on the link that I put in the chat, it will take you to my travel website. You know, where I have a travel agent number, I have a dashboard, I have all the proper tools that I need to do my job as a travel agent. You know, this site right here, Nubreed Global Travel. Nubreed Global Travel. See, when you have people telling lies, you know, being very much disingenuous, it's easy to debunk it. It don't take that long to debunk this. Man, my brother's in the building. Inside the Nation Radio, my brother. So, you know, the irony is, will people correct themselves? Now, everybody is not into multi-level marketing. Everybody don't have the personality for it. everybody doesn't have the willpower to be self-motivated. Everybody doesn't have the, I would say, the gumption to take a chance on a business. Everybody don't have that. Me, I think outside the box. For me, it was an easy decision to become a travel agent. Why? Because I travel and I know that I can get compensated based on traveling. I know that I'm not paying money to booking.com or this site or that site, but it can go back to me. So that alone is a great opportunity. And I like to be around traveling people. But this is not about my business. I'm not here to try to sell you anything. If you are interested, though, if what I'm talking about piques your interest, if you want a presentation, a full presentation, then you can come over to Nubreed 404 on Instagram and inbox me, and we can get you set up with a formal presentation. But that's not what this is about, because I can go on and on about my passion, one of my passions, which is traveling. Now, I want to go here. There's a creator, a brother whom I have shouted out, a brother who, I still feel is a brother. For the record, I still feel that this is a brother, but however, I think that some correction needs to be made in the most respectful manner possible. I don't have no ill will towards this brother. I really look at him as being someone who is concerned. All right. This is a brother who has apparently been supportive of some of my business endeavors, as well as some of my nation building endeavors. And so I find it, necessary to actually address this brother. I find it necessary to address this brother. And it's gonna answer a lot of unanswered questions because there's been so much lies put out there. And this brother here, this YouTuber here, his name is Toothless Wonder. Now, with no further ado, we're going to get into this, and I want everybody to get the likes up on the material, and we're going to address this accordingly.
Where how I go with this will allude to previous videos that I've made. I've categorized, the Nubreed Ringo fiasco, right? And if you go on my videos or whatever, right, Ringo has held to my opinion of not only what was taking place, but the origin and why he was doing it.
Now, for the record, since Brother Toothless Wonder is saying this guy's name, I understand if you say it in the chat. I understand if you say the brother's name in the chat. But I would rather you don't. And, for the record, this is not about drama. There's a lot of different things that was brought up in this stream that I want to address. All right. Let's continue and get the likes up. Get the likes up.
I believe that man had no, and if you follow their content or whatever, or the story, the Ringo had no, he wasn't, words escape me, he had no desire to be a part of the UP Farmland Initiative. But what he did do in an up-top version of the 48 Laws of Power, from proximity, being around a man, conversating with him, he perceived his desire to bring him into, what they were doing with UP Farms for the awareness marketing of, that initiative, right? He perceived this, had no desire to do it. And then once he got to where he was going in North Carolina, then he had already set the play up to run the initiative that he had planned on doing beforehand. You see what I'm saying? So he makes all these video messages when he just could call the man. And then starts off, in a way that anybody would then not listen to the rest of them, so that he can say, oh, you never listened to me, da da da, and then now I'm coming to social media to expose it. That was the plan the whole entire time.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I personally agree with that. Now we're gonna get into some more here. So I'm gonna let this play out for a good amount of time, and then I'm gonna chime in. So you're gonna understand the things I want to clarify. Let's go.
In the Art of War, it talks about there's a category or a chapter that talks about essentially finding a weak point and then hammering home at. So in previous videos, I talked about he's just going to throw anything at the wall and just see what stick. And if anything does stick, that's what he's going to hone in on and try to, pierce the armor, right? Now, I am pro Nubreed, right? He's one of the first people that I discovered, and his content has been very instrumental on my journey. However, if you follow my content, when I talked about like people being trustworthy or people are telling you the truth, but they're not necessarily trustworthy, that's what I was alluding to. I just didn't want to put it in the title to be, potentially drawn into woo, right? This is just from a social observative standpoint, as unbiased as I possibly be, and looking at it for what it is, right?
Now, he said something very interesting here. He said people telling you the truth, but not being able to be really trustworthy. Now, I want to say this. I've always told y'all the truth. However, if you are looking at certain things that's contrary to what you're being told, and you're being literally inundated and brainwashed by certain material, then you won't trust that person. Because if you look at something long enough, and they're sitting there saying these negative things about that person, eventually, because you've opened yourself to that, you're not going to trust that other person, even if they're telling the truth. Even if they're telling the truth. Now, let's continue.
So that takes place, whatever. So now we're at this place where, and I caught this in Nubreed's content where, generational wealth and transfer of wealth and da-da-da, but my spotty sense had already tingled. Now, mind you, I have firsthand knowledge of this MLN marketing scheme, if that's what you want to call it that. About 10 years ago, I had a partner of mine hit me up and say, hey, bro, I got an opportunity, whoop. So I'm like, all right, cool, cuz, what is it? So he explains it to me, but at that time, I'm like, I don't know if I can really do nothing with that.
And so now I want you to understand that Brother Toothless is speaking about his own personal experience with multi-level marketing. And I'm going to say this, multi-level marketing is not for everyone. It takes a certain type of individual. And every multi-level marketing industry doesn't have a good product. Fortunately for me and my team, we have a wonderful product. Matter of fact, it's the most searched Google product in the world, and that's traveling. So now we got to understand this is coming from this brother's personal experience. It may not, listen, marketing might not be for everyone. All right. Let's continue.
But since you my mans in them, if it'll benefit you, then I'll go, holler at the peoples, you know what I'm saying? So I go to his house, and it's a company called Primerica. Now, they're slightly different. Same principle at play. They sell insurance. However, to get to the point where you then...
it's interesting because I got some people on my team who work for Primerica, and they did great. I got directors from Primerica who I work with directly. And they did great in Primerica. Some of them still work in Primerica, and they still working with us. So it's all about who you are, Wow, Kim C says, like me. That's right. That's right. We got three? It's like 3 or 4 people who worked at Primerica who did well. But anyway, let's continue.
have the ability to take the test and be certified in your state to sell insurance, you then have to recruit said number of people. If you don't recruit said number of people, I think you can't take the test or stay to get the test to be licensed through them, or you have to pay out of pocket.
Well, so okay, so what we got going on, it doesn't quite work like that. You can purchase your business, start your business and travel, and you only need a few people to get started making money. You only need a few people to start to get start getting to the bag. And that's what we initially want from you, because we want you to get paid immediately. You know what I mean? Just like when you start a job, we want you to have paid training at your job. We don't want nobody not getting that paycheck. Anyway, let's continue.
There were no reoccurring monthly fees or anything like that. Now, if Ringo is saying, and he's made the past 2-3 videos, I said, hi, I can't argue with the truth. He got the man on a plethora of issues. If it is a MLN, a multi-level marketing company, the way he describes it, that's exactly what you do. There's no product being sold. You're just recruiting other people. And then those.
Now, see, you hear that lie? He said there's no product being sold. Let's rewind that real quick, because that would be a pyramid scheme, and a pyramid scheme is illegal. So listen to brother say no product has been sold. So you're reacting to a gentleman who has been lying the whole time, who willingly negated the fact that there was a product, and a product that is very lucrative, such as travel. So since you watched a liar, now you believe that I'm scheming people, because a pyramid scheme would be that you don't have a product. Yep, Real 80 says they only call it a scheme when someone else is doing it, but when they do it, the business is legitimate. Exactly. So listen to the brother. And he's under the false notion that there's no product. Listen.
That's exactly what you do. There's no product being
sold. That's a lie.
So you're just recruiting other people, and then those people have to recruit people. But you can only recruit people.
Yeah, but that's what he must have experienced. But our people have LLCs. Listen, we got people got LLCs. They getting the 1099. They got their identification number. They got their certifications. They got their qualifications. And guess what? A lot of these people are going to be making 6 figures very soon from the travel industry. Very soon. Let's go.
People you know. So you can't go on your job and do that. If it don't go right, or if the people you recruit can't recruit people, they ain't making no money. Now, amongst your family.
And I got to ask that same question, Real 80s. Why didn't this brother come ask me himself? Why did he listen to someone who has lied continually? Someone who has put out a smear campaign on me? Somebody who's been a continual liar. You believe that there was no product, but you could have asked me, bro, what you got going on? I was with Prime America. Toothless Wonder, if he would have hit me up, I'd have definitely obliged him. I've shouted this man out. And these are the type of things I'm constantly experiencing on social media. People that could reach out to me, but don't. But anyway, let's continue.
Friends or social network. Now you've created some type of antagonistic kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? Because the business model is bringing other people in. And then you kind of max out where you're at. So you have to tap into new demographics, which, as Ringo is stating, could possibly be his reasoning for promoting this on Nubreed, promoting this on his channel. Yeah. I guess the Donald Bradley guy, he went through, a plethora of things in his relation to his, I think it's the fraternities, Alpha Pi South.
Okay, so let's talk about that. I'm going to show you what they're speaking about. My affiliation with Donald Bradley. Let's go there, because apparently according to some of the lies that's been put out of there. They're saying that I'm in the Illuminati. That's what they're saying, that I've sold my soul. I'm in the Illuminati, and I'm in some type of Masonic order. These are the things they say. And you know what? Why not just tell y'all the truth? I know it may not be as salacious. It just may not be as salacious. So this is me with multimillionaire Mr. Donald Bradley. He took his time. Let me read the caption. It says, multimillionaire Donald Bradley took the time to drop knowledge on how to win. We up next. That's right. A lot of people like that photo. A lot of people like that photo because, you know, I'm in a company of millionaires, right? And Donald Bradley, I don't know what his fraternity is, Alpha Phi Alpha. You know, that is what it is. I'm not a part of any fraternity. I wonder what the CEO of YouTube, well, I know that. I wonder what fraternity he's a part of. Hold on. What did you just say, Nubreed? I wonder what fraternity the CEO of YouTube is a part of. Or the job that you may work at. The CEO of the job you work at, your 9 to 5. I wonder if they're in a fraternity or not. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. When I went to college, I met some Q dogs that was cool people. Is joining a fraternity for me? No. I just don't want to be a part of that. But does that mean because I got some good game from a brother who's successful, who spearheaded this multi-billion-dollar industry and who wanted to personally speak with me, then you know what? That's cool. I can have a conversation. See, when it comes to business, people want to be very much selective. Is everybody going to quit their jobs right now because somebody who's, you know, started the company might not believe what you believe in? Yeah, so they're saying that I'm a part of the Illuminati. They're saying that Mr. Bradley is my boss. But the truth of the matter is, we are our own bosses in the travel industry. And I appreciate Mr. Donald Bradley for taking his time to touch bases with myself and Brother Yawitazai. I appreciate Mr. David Washington for all his mentorship. The brother on the left, far left, the Mr. David Washington, a 3-star director, been in the clothier industry for a number of years, been in the fashion industry for a number of years, a stand-up brother. These sound like good people I love to be around. But see, this is what we have in our community. Our people always want to tear down our people. You have a clear-cut case of another black man or black men trying to tear down another black man's business. It's the same thing over and over. But no, I just thought I would share that with you real quick, and we're going to go back to the video. You know, we don't have to be conspiracy theorists about everything now. I'm not in the Illuminati. I'm not a Mason. I'm not a part of fraternity. What's next? What's next? And I appreciate the mentorship on the business. There wasn't nothing else discussed but the business. No rituals were conducted. They say I cut my hair because I joined the Illuminati. No, my hairline wasn't loving me back, so it had to go. I'm getting old. It wasn't that Nubreed was like, you know what? I'm tired of the dreads. I'm gonna let this go. I want the clean cut bald head because I like how it look in a suit. Because I'm gonna be wearing a lot of suits. But anyway, let's go back to Brother Toothless. Let's go back to Brother Toothless. Yeah, hey, listen, fellas, when your hairline ain't loving you back, you gotta let it go. You may love your hairline, but if it ain't showing you no love back, listen, women love the bald look. They love it. Brothers, trust me. You shave that joint clean, hey, it's no shame in that. You got to be real with you. If something ain't loving you back, you gotta get rid of it. I don't care what it is, who it is, it ain't loving me back. Hairline wasn't treating me right. I got tired of putting all that damn oil in my head. I said, it ain't treating me right. So it had to go. But nonetheless, let's continue, y'all. We cracking jokes. We having fun. We just having fun, y'all. But let's go.
For whatever that is, right? And Nubreed has done videos about the Greek letter black organizations and their ties to Freemasonry. The man, all of a sudden, after he started growing his locks back, has now cut said locks for corporate eyes, whoop de whoop de whoop, whatever the case may be. It's unfortunate, and it makes me even more diligent to make sure I don't sell out.
So it kind of sounds like Toothless Wonder is saying that I sold out. Sound like he's saying that the brother sold out, man. Oh man, you know, brothers and sisters. Let's get the likes up on the video. Let's get the likes up on the video. They on this shadow banning thing they on it already. Let me say this. In the religious community, we got to stop this. We got to stop this. Because the more that I get into this video, the more you're going to see what the problem really is. The more you're going to see what the problem really is. So it sounds like Toothless Wonder is alluding to me being a sellout because I cut some dreadlocks and started a business in travel. Because I met very successful people along the walk, along my journey of starting this new business. This is why we stay still. But here's the irony of it. The more we get into this video, the more you can see that the actual woke community, conscious community really don't support me anyway. So if I was to sell out, quote unquote, sell out, I would be well within reasoning once you see what's going to be said here. Once you see what's going to be said, it would make a person say, well, damn, I would be better off with other people helping me reach goals. But watch this. Watch this.
Sold out. And here's what selling out looks to me. Locks. For corporate eyes, whoop de whoop de whoop, whatever the case may be. It's unfortunate, and it makes me even more diligent to make sure I don't sell out. I almost sold out. And here's what
somebody says, was the cut a requirement? No, it was not a requirement. Get through? No, the cut was not a requirement. The cut is something I personally decided to do. I did not meet up with anybody and they say, you need to cut your hair. That's a lie. It's just a lie. It's called bearing false witness. People just being sensational, making things up. So no, there's no truth to that. Let's go.
Selling out looks to me, taking my will back, not in the sense of going back into using drugs and nothing like that. But the word says the steps of a righteous man are ordered. And I made previous videos about the manifestation talking point. How much could John the Baptist, Yeshua, David, any of the prophets, Jonah tried to manifest going the opposite direction. And that didn't work. And these were people who were called to do a particular thing by the Most High. So I'm of the belief I only have a certain amount of wiggle room to do certain things. Even as practical, as well-meaning as it may seem, if it's not the Most High will, it's not going to work, yeah? Back to my personal situation when I was talking about leaving the job, right? It wasn't his will that I leave a job. I don't want to do it. I don't know how much this industry going to last with, funding cuts and this, that, and the third, but I hadn't felt led by the Spirit to move on to something else. That was something in my mind.
Well, what if I and my team felt led to leave the 9-to-5 or have something on the side? Why would you judge other people for wanting to do that because you personally had a bad experience with MLM? That's your personal experience. There's people who have jobs, kept those jobs, still got involved in multi-level marketing, and they're making a whole lot of money, end up leaving said jobs. But here's the crazy part. It's like you got these scriptures. We talking about John the Baptist. We talking about the disciples. But what about the scriptures about going to the actual person that you got a gripe with? What about that scripture? What about the scripture where it's like, let me check up on a bro. My email, listen, my email is out down there at the screen. My Instagram is at the bottom of the screen. My website is at the bottom of the screen. Everybody can reach out to me. If you want to know something, all you got to do is ask. Or you could have showed up to a personal presentation to see what I'm talking about. You could have been like, look, Breed, I want to see what's going on. But you rather believe sensationalism on the internet. You rather believe someone who just has always lied on me. All right. I get what's going on here. Let's continue.
And then in the week time that I had to kind of try to move some puzzle pieces together, it wouldn't come together. And here's what's crazy. I've had my license back almost 3 years now, right? So I still have like an alcohol restriction. But I don't drink alcohol, so it don't matter, right? Now, when I went last year in an attempt to get my CDL, it wasn't an issue. Now, another year has passed with no moving violation or anything like that. And now somehow it's become harder. So when mysterious things happen, I know the Most High hand in it. When the word talk about, I'm paraphrasing, like don't be overly concerned when various trials come upon you because it's just a testing of your faith, right? This is from what Ringo is, and I made a video, and I ain't got no whole bunch of subscribers, but I made a video talking about Ringo and how a broken clock is right twice a day. And I lost a few subscribers because of that, and
Well, let me ask you this, Toothless Wonder. Now that we are finding out that he wasn't right about this, he told one big lie, and that lie was that we had no product. That's a huge lie right there. Now that that you finding out that man is not right about what he's saying, that's a big lie. Will you address it? I feel like that you should stand corrected publicly. I can't tell you what to do with your platform, and I'm not trying to bully or bogart or nothing like that. I know you ain't that type of person to even be trying to flex on or nothing like that. You from Baltimore, I'm from DC. I know how we get down DMV, and I respect you as a man, brother. But when you put this material out, you was wrong. You was wrong. You didn't have all the details, and neither did you acquire anything from me. Let me see. Real 80 says these are people that don't make money in MLMs. These are people that don't make enough in their 9-to-5s. Yeah, that's right. Let me read this because this is very important. There are people that don't make enough money in MLMs. True. There are people that don't make enough money in their 9-to-5s. Also true. There are people that start traditional videos and lose money. People lose every day, B. Exactly.
Okay, cool, right? But from the content that the man has made, and from my firsthand knowledge of certain things, he's made in a plethora of talking points. This is enough to bring a circumstance, or not circumstantial, but due to the circumstantial evidence all tied together, this is enough to warrant in a legal system an indictment to show and prove that this isn't what he's saying it is.
An indictment? Why? Because some liar on the internet has been telling lies on me for years. I supposed to be indicted because somebody's lying on me. Have you ever thought that he would be the one being indicted for getting on the internet lying on another man and lying on an entire business? Don't you think he should be the one indicted? I didn't have to say anything. I didn't have to say anything. What he did is criminal. He speculated something that wasn't true. He put a lie out there, said there wasn't a product, and he was incorrect. That's a huge lie. Now that we know there's a product, because I just shared with you all my travel site where you can book your travel. I've helped several people, lots of people, start their own business in travel. And a lot of these people are already experienced in multi-level marketing. I'm telling you, I'm glad that I got a strong team around me. I'm glad I got some people around me who are on point and know what's going on, man. Anyway, let's go.
Excuse me. And excuse me, y'all. And I've made videos about words escape me at this point, man. Cause I really rock with he, you know what I'm saying? But it ain't about that. It's about not getting bamboozled. You know what I'm saying? And with these very, damning, content and so on and so forth, he has yet to address this personally.
Because I move on my time. And if you were concerned, brother, you should have reached out to me. Have you ever considered that I'm busy? You ever considered that I don't find a need to address that liar that way? Oh, he'll get addressed. He'll get addressed because he's lying on an entire $1 million industry, entire $1 million company, $1 billion company, lying on them, saying that they don't have a product, and not understanding that that's a dangerous lie to be on the internet just telling people. It's a dangerous lie. You don't. Whoa, man. Father have mercy on them. Father have mercy on them. And see, exactly. Also, not understanding that I moved on. I wasn't paying no attention to what that guy was saying over there because I moved on. I moved on. So if you don't trust me, although I have a history of telling the truth, why would you trust someone who has a history of telling lies just because of my silence? Doesn't make sense. Let's continue.
If there's nothing to hide, or if there's nothing, or if it's not what he's saying it is, then for the sake of the YouTube audience and the community, then clarify said demonstration. But it do make sense not to respond, because the people I call out in my personal life don't respond, and it's wise to do that. Because I'll be honest, I'm trying to pull them in the water. Once you respond, then I'm gonna just deploy the rest of my evidence.
Exactly. So basically what he's saying is, if he responds, it's going to be so inflammatory that they're going to be able to just totally tear Nubreed down. First of all, when it comes to the YouTube community, let's backtrack just a little bit. You got to understand that sometimes people act as a buffer to get rid of people that you don't want around you anyway. See, I'm over here trying to figure out who's still been entertaining the nonsense over there. I'm still trying to figure out who been double-minded. Because if you believe the lies, I don't want you to be a part of my team anyway. I don't want to work with you. I don't want to waste my time working with someone who has been entertaining folly. Folly. No. See, there's a method to what I got going on. We're going to cook today. Let's go. Okay, what happened? Let's go.
I'm trying to bait them in, but they smart enough not to pay. They smart enough to pay me no mind. So just periodically, I'll just do it. And the difference is these people ain't done nothing to me. They've actually gotten over, financially gained, benefited, whatever you want to call that, based on the uninformed and the vulnerable. That's my issue for doing it. But these people ain't did nothing to me because I'm smart enough and wise enough and my spidey sense be tingling enough for them not to do nothing to me. I'm upholding, I'm just calling out wickedness, as I said. And that's why we all have our various temptations. But from my understanding, you're not in sin until you yield to said temptation. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to just be operating. I'm pretty transparent for as wise as that is to be. I don't want to be found out. And if somebody tells me, I'm a pat no mind or whatever the case may be. But if I know in my heart of hearts, I don't want to be exposed. That's why I just try to walk circumspectly in a land full of sin and snares and pitfalls. And that's a job in and of itself. But, segue me, please, right? So, all right, let me take my time with this. Because I'm going somewhere. Y'all appreciate y'all for being patient. I want to say this was a couple years ago. They had the National Day of Repentance. I believe it was the United Nation of Israel or whatever, and it was in D.C. at the time, which is about an hour and a half away from where I'm currently residing at now, right? So I just left the job, things weren't certain, but I want to link with those who, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? Because I don't really fool with society and so on and so forth, right? So I end up magically getting enough money to head on over there.
So he came to our Day of Repentance, but I don't remember seeing this brother there. So let's see what the brother got to say. And we're going to get into it.
So typically, if I ain't been somewhere in a minute, like I leave extra early, traffic, so on and so forth. So I actually got a hotel, the La Quinta outside of, it was in Capitol House, which is right outside of D.C. Mm-hmm. So I get there, boom. Now, I couldn't sleep that night, right? And I'm thinking, the devil attacking me, or he don't want me to link with people or to show up to this event. I go to said event, and then I ain't been to D.C. in a while, so I hate the traffic. Everything's a one-way. And then it's horrible parking, you know what I mean? They ain't got nothing to do with nothing. So I found a parking garage, and I walked to, I forgot the actual square, but the Washington Monument is in the backdrop. I forgot the name of the square, right? So typically, I get everywhere early. So I'm just waiting and da-da-da, and then I see the charter vans, shuttles pull up, right, in which they start unloading. At that point, I left, right?
Now, why would you leave, brother? Yeah, we had bus loads of people pulling up, bus loads. But why would he leave? Why would the brother leave? Let's find out why.
Then I'm thinking, man, what am I, convicted? I don't deserve to be around these people. You know what I'm saying? I was extra tired. I wasn't feeling it. So I felt very deflated, and I drove all the way back home with the sleep, right?
So why on a day of repentance, when we're coming together to repent, everybody came with a humble spirit. Nobody came perfect, brother. That day of repentance was exactly what it was supposed to be. A day where you come there to repent. I would have liked to meet you, brother. I would have liked to shake your hand and get to know who you are as a brother. We all equals, man. We all men. My platform, the size of my platform, how many viewers I got, none of that matters, brother. We coming together collectively. Let's continue.
Maybe this ain't for me, you know what I mean? Whatever, right? During that event, the dude Brainwaves Advice Topics had a video later on with the first woman who was supposedly, allegedly, whatever, on the land in UP Farm. Now, I wanted to get into UP Farm, you know, land ownership, being around like-minded, building up, you know, being a part of something bigger than yourself, right? So she was on his platform describing her time at UP Farms, and now she's not on UP Farms and the issues she went through and whoop, 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 whoop. And she left with a bad taste in her mouth. So I'm like, God.
Well, that situation had nothing to do with me, brother. And let me make this clear. UP Farms is still popping. My yurt is still over there on UP Farms. Mike has people coming to the farm all the time. It was designed for you to build on UP Farms on your own, whatever you want to put there, whatever you want to build on that land, it's still there. Mike Monroe is still doing his thing. He got thousands of bikers coming out to do an event out there very soon. The farm is still popping. I acted as a promoter to the land. Whatever happened in that situation with that lady, that was between her and Mike. That has nothing to do with Nubreed. That has nothing to do with me at all. Just so that I'm clear about this. UP Farms is still popping. UP Farms is still doing what they do. I'm still a trustee at UP Farms. I still own a livable structure at UP Farms. And if you want to build yourself a livable structure there, you can do that too. That was just given to the people. Whoever has the means and the resources to put something on said land, you can do it today if you want. I'll give you the info. You can reach out to Mike. That's how it works. Anyway, let's continue.
Now, I couldn't verify if this was actually the woman, but even still, if this is the woman, and granted, everything ain't gonna go right and so on and so forth, I understand all that, but the first person, and they're already gone, and then she alludes to how, you know, she tried, I think she was moving from North Carolina, no, I forgot where she was moving to, or moving from, rather.
Yeah, that's not true either, brother. She's not the first person. There was, matter of fact, there was people living there when we did that land walk with Ringo there. What are we talking about? That wasn't the first person there. So that statement is not true. Yeah, and yeah, also, let's clear that up. Yeah, people, he said something about buying land there. The land is not for sale. You can build a livable structure on that land. That land is for people of like mind. If you want to build a business there, if you want to set up something there, you can do it. There's never a question whether you can buy land there. You could become a trustee there and be connected with UP Farms. But the land is not for sale because Mike got that land. So in these last days, like-minded people can come together and have a central hub to meet when things are not going copacetic. That's what UP Farms is for. Let's continue.
But she said it ended up costing her more money when things didn't work out, so on and so forth. So I'm like, darn, Joe. She states that
whatever decision she made and whatever she did, that's not none of my business. Just like if one of y'all buys something, you go to UP Farms, you build it up, you fumble your bag or mess something up or don't plan accordingly, that's your problem. I'm one person. I'm not here to build you a home there. I'm not here to create a utopia there for you. I already have a structure over there. It has nothing to do with me. If you want to go build something on that land, then you can do it. It'll be your livable structure. Anyway, let's continue.
She was actually at the event in DC, and that when she was talking to other people that were there, she was already on the land by this point. And then, according to her, the people are saying, how did you get on the land? Because we were told we had to pay.
Hold on, no, that math ain't mathing. I'm gonna have to make a phone call about that. That sounds kind of egregious. That math ain't mathing because UP Farms we wasn't really centering things around UP Farms until after the day of repentance. So that really don't got nothing to do with me, because if that lady was on that land during that time, I didn't even know about UP Farms at that time. I personally did not know about UP Farms around the day of repentance. So if that lady was there during that time, that definitely had nothing to do with me at all. But anyway, let's go.
Hey, to get on the land or some type of
Man, why is it doing that? All right, let's go.
fee to access woo woo woo. Let's see, hold on. Now, I don't know if y'all can, hold on. Blot up my address. Make sure ain't nothing wild on that jump. Now, this here, hold on. This is an ID card. Y'all can say it. This is an ID card that
Brother Toothless, a bald head brother too. Did he sell his soul because he shaved his head? He a bald head brother too, man. What the hell's going on here? You judge me for shaving my head. You got a bald head too. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. So he just showed his UNY ID. All right, that's good. The brother went and got him an ID.
I don't know if y'all can, hold on. Blot up my address. Make sure ain't nothing wild on that jump. Now, this here, hold on. This is an ID card. Y'all can say it. This is an ID card that I got from United Nation of Israel that Nubreed had promoted.
So let me get this right. If you had your ID card, you definitely could have reached out to us directly. He said, now this is something that Nubreed had promoted. This is around the time we went to Liberia. This is around the time where we were campaigning for our people. And I want you to, let's see what else the brother got to say.
He talks about the land they had gotten or offered in Ghana, no, Liberia rather. So yeah, I'm trying, you know me, I'm trying to get out the country by any means necessary. You know, I start off from scratch and build up. That's part of what I'm trying to do, right? We haven't heard anything since that. And there's a Spaces app in which they were communicating. You get the ID card, so on and so forth.
Hold on, what do you mean we haven't heard anything since then? Hold on, let me show y'all something. We haven't heard anything since then. Listen, number one, the UNY is still up. They're still doing their thing. The question is, did you follow up? Because what I'm witnessing here, what I'm realizing here, is it seems that this brother here has a history of not following through. You could have checked on this. They still going to Africa. They're still doing things, brother. They're still offering, they're still connected with the people who's doing dual citizenship. Your ID, you have to follow through with things. And I'm saying that you don't follow through because you went to the day of repentance and you didn't even show up. You turned around and went home. Like, what is it that got our people so scared or apprehensive? I'm not going to use the word scared. I want to use the word apprehensive to really get involved in this stuff. And if these endeavors fall short, it's because our people aren't supporting it. Okay, so now I just got a text from the brother says, no, I did have the camping trip, the camping event before the day of repentance. Okay, so yeah, okay, so I didn't remember all the details on that. So let me clear that up. Because this is many years ago. And there's no dual citizenship yet, but they're still working on it. And if they had the volumes, if they had people who are supportive and going to this site and doing what they do after they get the ID, then things will get done. So it's like y'all saying and nothing happened. No, the people, if the people didn't do nothing, I can't do it on my own. Are you listen, are y'all understanding what I'm saying? So because the people don't support certain things, do y'all know why I started focusing on UP farms? Because when I went to Liberia and had thousands of acres offered to our people, I introduced that to the Hebrew community and they was not supportive of it. So I had to start smaller within the country. And I said to myself, if we can't establish a community within the country, what I look like trying to promote us going to Liberia and starting over. And guess what? I brung those opportunities to everybody's attention. They didn't support it. People didn't really support UP Farms except for a select few. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, Kim C. Who they think I'm Superman? I'm supposed to save the world. No, it takes the people. See, you being apprehensive to get involved is part of the problem, Toothless Wonder. Because guess what? You're not the only one. Everybody's thinking like you. Apprehensive to get involved. Apprehensive to actually support something. And if everybody's apprehensive and you're relying on me, ain't shit gonna get done. Excuse my language. Sorry about that. Ain't nothing gonna get done if you think I'm supposed to build our people up by myself. That's not fair to Nubreed. I mean, excuse my language, man. I'm just saying, man. What am I missing here? This is why people actually go sell out. Because you put your heart on the line. You support endeavors that you believe will be beneficial to your people. And because you deliver them the information, ultimately they hate you for it. Me and my constituents didn't make money off of these IDs. I didn't make not one dime off of the IDs. I did not make one silver penny off the UNY and promoting it. The only reason I pushed and promoted this endeavor, us establishing ourselves as a nation and identifying ourselves as a nation, I only did that because I believed in it. I only did it because I believed that it made sense. It's not my fault that people didn't support it. Oh, man. Oh, man. They expect me to carry all the weight. They expect me to build UP Farms. They expect me to go out there and build it. They expect me to just do everything for them. I am tired of that. That's why I'm glad that I'm involved in the travel industry where people are willing to do their own work. People who start a business in travel, they have to do their own work. Those are the type of people I want to be around and network with. Let's go.
The last time I checked, I believe a month ago, there's no new information on that website that's on the Spaces app in reference to the United Nation of Israel and whatever their movements are doing, so on and so forth.
No, there's information on there. And if the UNY fell off, it's because they don't have the support. If they're not doing anything, it's because they don't have the support. Let's continue.
I believe I paid like $125 for an ID card that, as it currently stands, is of no benefit to me.
That's not true. If you go to the UNY website, you can actually see what benefit it is. Yep, somebody says a lot of volunteers was left hanging because of lack of support. Yeah, that's what happens, man. And if the UNY card is to no, if the ID card is to no value, it's because the people didn't believe in it. Look, dollars are worth value, right? Dollar bills are worth value. Why are dollar bills worth value? Because that's what the people believe in. That's why. If our people as a whole believed in the IDs, identifying themselves as Israelites, our true identity, and having backing for that, if enough of us believed in it, it would have been popping. But everybody don't think like we think. And I had to learn how to understand I can't save the world. I can't make the masses believe in the mission to become self-sufficient. I can't do it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm being just as transparent as I can. The Most High has punished me for trying to do this. Punish me. Because he said, listen, if they're not gonna listen to me, what makes you think you can set them free? If they're not gonna listen to me and gather themselves together, nation not desired, and think outside of this captivity that we in and become self-sufficient. If they're not going to listen to the Most High, what makes you think they're going to listen to me? I had to learn this the hard way. And I'm still learning because I see what things are supposed to be like. And sovereignty ain't easy to get. There's creators, there's platforms way bigger than mine who don't even dare to try to accomplish what I've accomplished. They won't even dare try to do what I do. They don't have the courage to try to free my people the way I have. Only to get spit on, condemned, trolled, scoffed, and tore down. They wouldn't dare do it. Why? Because they're getting a good check. They're getting paid. They would not dare try to do these things. But nonetheless, I only need my selective group of people. I only need my selective group of people, and I have that. I have a good support system, even though it's not many. And they're all working to better themselves. And we all gonna be fly. We all gonna be traveling together. We all gonna be pulling up to events together. We all gonna be making paper together. We all gonna be living good. We're going to be living good. My team going to be tight. My team making that bread. My team going to eat together. And you know what? Yeah, that's right. Real 80s. The YouTube check too good. So they're not going to even dare to try what I've tried. But the Most High still blessing me regardless. The Most High still blessing those around me regardless. Even when YouTube want to play games. And they don't want to treat my platform with the respect it deserves. Guess what? The Most High made other avenues for me to survive and provide for my family. Even when you don't see no super chats. When you don't see no super chats coming, nobody supporting the platform. Guess what? The Most High still feeding me and mine. And we're not lacking nothing. Anyway, let's continue.
And I haven't heard anything else about it. Nubreed's love note system. We haven't heard anything about that.
What do you mean you haven't heard anything about it? The love note system is still in place. But the love notes are not going to be of any benefit if we don't have the merchants to fill up the merchant hub. The love notes are still used. You can go to new. Oh, this is crazy. You haven't heard nothing about the love notes. Have you been to NubreedGlobalTruth.com? Have you been to my website? These love notes right here, you can still get discounts on all the products on the site. You haven't heard nothing about it. What does that even mean? The love notes are still here. When you purchasing, when people are actually supporting the site, they can use these love notes to get discounts on said products. Now, in order for it to make a major impact, you know what I would, more than just a few merchants on Hub. What happened when we tried to get Mark the Messenger as a merchant hub? Mark the Messenger thought we were trying to steal his money, when really we were just trying to start a business and an ecosystem. We don't trust each other. Chariot T has been a merchant on the hub. They accept love notes. Hebrew Care accepts love notes. Nubreed Global Truth accepts love notes. They're all on this site. The reason why you haven't heard nothing for it, because there's not other merchants that want to reach out and say, hey, I want to become a merchant in your hub, and I want to accept love notes, and let's start our own economy. Let's start our own business economy. Am I supposed to do it alone? This is the question I really have for the people. Am I supposed to do it alone? We got clothing on this site. We got all natural products. We got colloidal silver. We got it all. The stuff that'll detox your body, the teas that'll detox your body. And we got love notes. Is Nubreed Global supposed to do it alone? Let me see. Elijah says, will a man rob God, yet ye have robbed me? But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. Right. Will a man rob God? That's what Real 80 says. He says, bro, you might as well do it alone, because when you try to include people, they will accuse you. Exactly. Anything I try to do outside of making YouTube videos, anything I try to do outside of everybody's regular scheduled programming, it's a scam. In their eyes, it's a scam. Let's go back to Toothless Wonder. Hold on. Where did that video go? Did I accidentally close that window? Oh, no. Here we go.
I mean, I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, saboteurs and whatnot, I get all that, but what happened? These are numerous initiatives that he set forth that have not come to fruition, or isn't.
They did come to fruition. How could this be numerous initiatives I put together and they didn't come to fruition? Let's say hypothetically they didn't come to fruition. Am I to blame or the people? Am I to blame or the people? If I go set up shop and start business and my business fails, the people did not support my business. If I start an initiative, because in this case it's not businesses, it's partly business, but it's initiatives. If they fail, that means the people did not support it. That's what that means. That means the people that didn't support it. Now, everybody that I've ever done business with, why are all our relationships still intact? The people who are in my merchant hub, the people who are in my business, my personal business, who I deal with every day, why are all our relationships intact? Because we're like-minded. We all want the same thing for our people. Let's go.
How they market it to be, and then there's no more about any kind of hiccups or, status reviews or whatever the case may be. Ringo brought up, where's Elder Uwitazai? I enjoyed his content on YouTube when Nubreed gave him his, I believe, Nubreed Green Light News, and then it turned into the Congregation of the Mighty, right?
What? Okay. All right. Here. This is what I want to know. All right. So you just stated that I gave Uwitazai a platform. I asked Uwitazai to get on YouTube. Uwitazai is not a YouTuber. He did it apprehensively because that's not what he does. Why would that man want to be up on this platform when he already see what time people are on? When he see that people are messy, people are not being real on here, people are all about views, people are all about building their platforms. When that man is really a community activist. Uwitazai is an actual community activist who work with. Listen, this man worked with Black Panthers and everybody. Uwitazai has been in places. Listen, Uwitazai have been dealing with dignitaries. Uwitazai has worked with mayors and governors and what the bro? Why are y'all worried about what this man doing? This man is actually working. He's actually on the ground with it. That man don't even really post on Facebook and Instagram like that. He understands that YouTube is the damn devil's playground. Everybody just about content and drama. When I asked that brother to get on YouTube, I just knew he was well spoken. But this is not his thing. He don't like YouTube. He don't like how people carry themselves on this. You think you cool with somebody, and they, instead of picking up the phone to chop it up with you in a situation, you get nothing. You get people trying to get views instead. No, he not with that. Anyway, let's continue.
When this all happened, the last time I've seen him on YouTube was at his wedding. He did do a video about his wedding or whatever. And now it's been 2 years and we haven't heard nothing from this man. And he's supposedly the information officer for the United Nations of Israel. These are, this is the facts. You know what I'm saying?
No, he been stepped away from that. And so did I. But the UNY is still doing what they do.
What else? Now to I discussed that. It's just a lot. And it does make it seem that he's using people's desire for community and not building on said community.
I'm using people's desire for community and not building on said community. Sir Toothless. I offered the land as a place where people can go and build on that community. People can build on that community to this day. Do you want me to go build people's homes? Do you want me? I'm offering it because you can build livable structures there. It's a place our people can go to. Do you want me to give them the money to build their place and build it? You want me to go get the bricks and hammers and nails? You want me to build everybody's house? You want me to go build everybody's home that desired community? This is why we stay still right here. Everybody's watching. Nobody wants to do. Everybody's expecting somebody else to do it for them. I offer you a piece of land where, hey, y'all, if y'all want this land, it's over there. You can build up. I'm good with the people over there. I know that these are stand-up guys. I know what the land initiative is about. If you want, hey, if you got residual income or you got the resources and you want to go build on said land, you can go do it. That's my only position on UP Farms. Exactly. How long am I supposed to promote something before I realize people don't care? They don't care. People care about their big screen TVs, their home, their job, their car. Most people are not thinking about really living in community, because if they were, they would take some of the resources and they would start building on that land. I'm not going to do it for people. Like, who do y'all think I am exactly? Let's continue.
What's the status of the land? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you live personally on the land?
I never said that I was going to live personally on the land. I have a livable structure on that land that I visit when I want to get away. When I want to do an event, I'm going to go to the land. When I want to perform in that state, perform songs and music and concerts, when we want to have camping trips, I'm going to go to the land. I've never said I was going to go live on said land. It may come a time I do live on said land. When all hell hits the fan in America, I may well be right there in my yurt with my people. Yeah, because I've stated many times I was going to buy my own land. One day I'm going to buy my own land. I've stated that many times. I've also said, listen, just because you come to UP Farms and you build something there, you know, if you live on a farm for a while and want to build your own land because you're able to stack some money up, then I want you to do that. I said that. Somebody said it. You get all types of gossip on this channel. I'm telling you, they just lie on me consistently. I said, if you want to build a timeshare over there, you can do that. If you want to build something and rent it out, you could do that. If you are just a person who, if you have a vendor, if you're a vendor and you know we having a gathering on UP Farms and you a vendor, you can pull up on the farm and sell you some ices or sell your product. Y'all have to listen. People gonna have to stop falsely accusing me of stuff, man. Let me see. Somebody said, that's my guy. He rides with you. Can't agree on everything. It doesn't seem like Toothless is really riding with me, because a lot of the assumptions he made and accusations he made are pretty low. They're pretty low. Let's go.
I think Ringo did a breakdown about when he signed, I guess, his deed ownership or whatever the case may be.
Nope.
But prior to that,
nope. I didn't sign no deed or ownership. No, sir. That's another lie. I became a trustee on UP Farms. I became a trustee, meaning that I have some say-so at that point. Moving forward, I have some say-so on anybody who wants to live on the land. Meaning, before anybody decide they want to live on that land, there is now parameters in place where myself and the other trustees can discuss it. So that's a lie.
he was saying he was a landowner, but he wasn't a landowner until that point when they signed the.
I didn't say I was a landowner at UP Farms. That's a lie. Like, folks got to stop lying on me, man. Y'all got to stop lying on me, man.
Papers, and he did a video in real time about that there. At this point, it's starting to seem like, and I've alluded to this as well, where Ringo and Nubreed are the Democrat and Republicans of the Truth Chosen One movement.
Man. That's just disrespectful, man. That's come on, brother. Come on, brother Toothless. I think that you watch too much Ringo TV. That's what I believe. Let's go.
All calling each other demons and da 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 and whoop the whoop the whoop. And it's just like, damn, Joe. Sad state of affairs.
But you watched it. It's a sad state of affair, but you watched it. What does that make you? What would that make you, brother? Brother, what would that make you if you continue entertaining that? I haven't made videos about any of those guys in months. Man, I'm telling you, man. Man. Our people. I love my people. I love my people, man. This is what happens when you entertain drama. You get confused. I'm gonna let this play for some time now. Let's get to it.
I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't know. It's unfortunate. But again, this is the Bamboozled Again News Network. I got the report on bamboozlement. And I still find the man Nubreed's content to be valid on the personal tip, but anything business-wise, my spidey sense just automatically get the tingling. You know what I'm saying? I'm a firm believer with the gathering. Now,
well, that means that the liar who's been slandering my name has been highly effective. It's been highly effective. And by the way, let me see. Let me go here because we speaking of UP Farms. Let me check this out real quick. Shout out to the Gaddy family who stay on the land. Who's still promoting the land. They out there. Hold on.
You know, getting some land. And he's asking, you know, the Most High to bless us with like over 100 acres of land. Mm-hmm. And we didn't know how we was going to get that land because we living in the hood, you know what I'm saying, not really making enough income to get by. And this was back in the day. This had to be like almost 10 years ago. And the Most High been good, man. The Most High been good. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you what he did. You know, I'm sitting here talking about all the things we want to do and how to be able to be more self-sufficient and be able to live without, you know, succumbing to, you know, how the system is.
Now the Gaddy family, I met them personally. They on the land. How many children the Gaddy family have? Is it 10? I believe they got 10 children. Like, what are we talking about? If it's not for you, then it's not for you. But people who really want to be there, they're there. They're there. They're promoting. They're still pushing UP Farms. But see, when people get online and they slander and lie, you don't understand that there's actually families over there who believe in UP Farms. Because a lot of people are so busy trying to destroy Mike's situation. Hate me so much that you're not even thinking about the families who are there. You're not thinking about the families that are there, or you're not thinking about the fact that Mike Monroe had a dream to bring people together. People who want UP Farms to be prosperous. What did those people do? What did that family do to deserve to have stuff talked about by people on the internet that don't even know what's going on? Anyway, let's continue.
I know, I believe it's in the Old Testament where it talks about not forsaking the gathering of yourselves, O nation not desired. But what I can't pick up is the context of it. Was he telling those people at that time that? Or does it allude to this time or both times? And as we've noticed, since
why you're struggling with that, because you don't want to really gather together. Matter of fact, when we was at the Day of Repentance, you got cold feet and you went back to your room. So what you're doing right now, Mr. Wonder, is you're making excuses for why we're not supposed to gather. You're making excuses for why we're not supposed to come together. And really, it's just that people are comfortable in Babylon. They're comfortable with the 9 to 5. They're comfortable with working for the system. I get that. I'm not even going to give y'all pushback about that no more. But when things hit the fan, I'm going to be with my people. And just like Noah, once that boat is sealed, people are going to be begging. Once that boat is sealed and the rain starts, people are going to be begging. Hey, Breed, you still got land? Hey, Breed, y'all still got gardens? Y'all still got the greenhouse? Yo, Breed, y'all still over there at UP Farms? Nah, remember, it was a scam. No, you mean a scam. You mean a land that's a scam. You know, the land that people are living at, building together at right now. Oh, you mean that land? Oh, I thought that was a scam. No, you're not welcome there. Sorry about that. You can't go there. Let's continue.
We're under, Babylonian captivity. Every time we've attempted to do that, let's say on a quote unquote corporate level, it don't pan out. You might be able to do it with like your family or small circles, but a large number of it is not meant to do it.
I agree. That's why I'm not trying that no more. That's why I'm not trying that no more. This is the reason why I only care about the people I work directly with. I'm not trying to save the world. All I need is my little small group of people, the families that I have in my network, in my circle, who understand what the mission is. Those are the people that I build with. I'm not trying to convince the entire YouTube to go to UP Farms. I'm not trying to convince the entire YouTube to support Love Notes. I'm not trying to convince the entire YouTube to support anything I do, because that's an impossibility. Or anything that I feel is a righteous act. That's an impossibility. But what I do want is those who are like-minded to gravitate. Let's go.
Because then if we were able to do that, then we could say, oh, we did this. I can't even, in my personal life, take credit for nothing, because whatever I've obtained or become was in obedience and the journey. And then I picked up stuff walking the narrow path to the best of my ability. And I think that's why I get held back in certain areas, so that I don't become or start running my own life, or so that way I can't take credit. Like Paul said, if I'll boast in anything, I'll boast in my afflictions, right? I can't take credit for nothing other than perceiving what the Most High is doing or what he's revealing to me, and trying to walk in it and be content. And no matter what my situation is, do I desire riches to lead a country and, companionship and, legacy building and all that? Yeah. But I'm a firm believer, if it's not the Most High will at that time, it's not finna happen, and he not gonna let it happen, because then I would be
Toothless Wonder, if you would have showed up to the day of repentance, shook my hand, and joined and really followed through and found out what was going on, I disagree with everything you're saying wholeheartedly. And I still want that olive branch out there, because I think you're a brother, and I don't want to lose you as a brother. All of the things that you sound like you giving up on, guess what? Everybody that's in my team right now on the brink of reaching these things. Everybody who's in my immediate circle right now on the brink of success. They're winning. Why? Because they're locked in. See, when you was apprehensive to come link up, when you're apprehensive to really get with the brothers, that's when you let the devil in. You got the bamboozled by the bamboozler. You started this video off by saying that Ringo didn't have no intent of supporting anything, that he did it for views. And you know that. We all know that. We all know that that's what he's doing this for. But you listen to that same person. You listen to that same person. And it polluted your judgment. Let's go.
Obedient, for there are, and this keep being in my spirit, there are ways that seem right to a man, but in the end lead to destruction. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I'm gonna have to agree with that, what he just said. It seemed right for me to try to it seemed right personally to try to involve everyone in what I thought was good. Having our own land sounds great, but it's not meant for everybody. But it sounded so good. Going to Africa, meeting dignitaries, and being offered the same land as Marcus Garvey, and then bringing that to our people. Like, yo, I reached out to all the camps. I reached out to everybody, and they was like, nigga, we not following you. No, it's not about me. All these acres. Y'all talking about fleeing Babylon. Yo, it sounded good. It sounded right to me. If it did not sound right to me, I wouldn't have said anything or done anything. My actions showed that I believed in it. I was wrong. And it's a blessing that it wasn't successful, because I would have been probably already dead by now, because I got a revolutionary spirit. Because it's not just talk with me, because through my actions, that would have been a real threat to the establishment. I did things none of these YouTubers then did. I'm already a legend in my own right, because of the endeavors that I got involved with, because of the people I met and the moves that I made. I tried to free my people in every way you could think of. With the love notes, we tried to start an economy, our own economy. We was gonna have our own colony up in Africa. Can nobody say that I didn't have heart? Can nobody say I didn't have the courage to actually do? All you could do is talk about how it failed. Why? Not because of me. I'm one person. It failed because the people not ready for all of that. That's why it failed. I'm not the Most High. I can't listen. I can't force people to see what I'm seeing.
So I'll be thankful for what I got. Grateful for the journey. And then even in relation to my personal situation last week, that was the temptation to sell out, to retake ownership of my life and do what I want to do, that I believe will construct or help me construct to a greater degree the level of life I'm trying to live, right? And it won't come together. Everybody else will do it, not you, because I'm bought and paid for with a price. He let me know that when he resurrected me from the dead, you know what I'm saying, over a decade ago, when I was homeless. Normally, I'm kind of squirmy. I can get out of stuff. You ain't getting out of that one, because I need to break you down. I need to purge you and your desire for the world and a total reliance on me. That's why they say he kept the disciples, like they had all this power to resurrect the dead and heal people and so on and so forth. But so that he can keep them in certain parameters, he kept them in a practical necessity for sustenance on a day-to-day basis. You know? So you don't forget where your power come from, so you don't take the power I give you and do whatever you want to do with it. That's what I'm scared of. Now, would I like to attain? Most definitely. But if it's going to lead me on a path like that, I don't want it. Now, the word say it is the Most High who grants you the ability to gain wealth. Or, what's that verse where he say, like two people get together and they say, oh, we'll go to this city for a year and we'll make X amount of dollars or finance if it's the Lord's will. But I don't believe it's the Lord's will for me or anybody else to recruit people, and then you got to recruit people. And now, not only that, nobody makes any money other than the people at the top.
That's a lie. Nobody makes no real money at the job you working at, except the people at the top. You know, I done met people who make more money than the people who brought them in the business of travel. So that's not true. See, in the business I work at, you can make more money than the person that brought you in. But at your job, you're not making more money than the people who hired you. You're not making more money than the CEO. See, it's like our people really don't understand business. You got to be able to understand business. Let's go.
And if you're paying monthly subscription fees to be able to access this system, you're actually going to lose money.
That's if you don't,
So when I was with the Primerica people,
that's if you
just wasn't paying off because
that's if you
couldn't recruit enough
why
people.
Is it doing that? Anyway, that's if you start your business and you're inactive. If you start a business in travel and you don't do anything, then of course you're going to lose money. You just started a business and went inactive. So you're just paying to keep your business going. Yep. Somebody says, I see more people show up to listen to you talk about Diddy, Trump, and drama than hear you talk about UP Farms Africa love notes. That's a fact. That's a fact. Why? Because people really don't care. Even me doing this stream right now, the mass majority of my audience really don't care about the lies being cleared up. They don't care about me clearing up the lies. And a shout out to y'all who's viewing. Yeah, somebody says you got to pay Shopify. You got to pay Shopify, Wix, or any other online business. What is he talking about? Exactly. Any business you start, you have to pay for your business. I have to pay for my Shopify. I have to pay for my merchant hub. Any entrepreneur knows you have to pay for your business. But I think he was in the dark really believing it's a scam and a pyramid scheme, not knowing you get a 1099, not knowing you get an actual business. Because he believed the liar. That dude lied. Omitted information. Let's go.
When people didn't need insurance and so on and so forth. And I'm glad it didn't work. A lot of time when stuff don't work, it's actually a blessing in disguise. I've tried, now because of my films about society and what I was saying, even in my small town, I tried to get, I believe it was in Kentucky, to one of Pastor Dow's whoop-de-whoop-de-whoops.
Hey, yo, and if Toothless Wonder is watching, man, you can feel free to join the stream, bro. And we could chop it up right now about this situation. This don't have to be no back and forth internet stuff, all right? I'm not doing this to try to make you look bad as a brother. I really just would like to have a conversation, but since you brung it online first, and I'm responding online, and then if you find a necessity, we can chop it up right now. Man to man, just whatever question you got, whatever thought you have, you can ask it. I figure I'll go live for a while to give you that opportunity. Let's go.
Then Face and Gates man revealed all that stuff going on there. Everything in Babylon is built on a plantation construct. That's where we learned it from. So then I go to one of these Pastor Dow demonstrations, and then let's say I work on the land or I work outside the land, and there are plethora of videos online about how, you giving all your money to him, and if you got a wife, somebody gonna take her, and he's selling your kids off and all this here. But here's what's wild. Nobody ever raided them. They must be in alignment with them peoples. Because anybody, Babylon, or anybody who's actually that dead or the truth or not aligned, they get attacked here in Babylon. You can go back to the Black Panthers or Black Wall Street. Anytime we do that, it get attacked, it get burnt down, and da-da-da. But I know the Pastor down them don't get an attack. Other than when they had that little, the kid missing or whatever. And then they got all these guns, but they quickly bow down. You know what I'm saying? Why they not getting persecuted and, you know what I mean? For selling people cheerings and taking people's wives, and then what happened? And then when you get gotten over on, and then you leave, then they tear your name up and destroy your credibility. But you got first-hand knowledge. Then they try to make it seem like you disgruntled. But then they got a video on the jump of some dude, you know.
So I don't got nothing to do with what's going on with Pastor Dow and all of them.
So when people spitefully use you.
Okay, so now, you know, I believe he's going through a lot of different caveats here, but we'll play a little longer. And then if the brother don't show up, then, you know, I'll allow out of the spirit of full transparency, people who are actually want to ask Nubreed whatever in the spirit of full transparency. Any questions you have for me, lies that you didn't heard, rumors you didn't heard, things you just want to know, we'll clear that up. I'm gonna give y'all some time to do that. So the link is in the chat.
That's the level I'm at now, and it don't feel good, and I don't want to do it. But it ain't about me wanting to do it. Just do it because I said so. I'm looking at this from a militaristic standpoint. I'm just here to take orders, you. You know what I mean? That's it. That's all. Because when I start getting in my head about, you know, why should I do this? And like when he G-checked Job, he was like, you know, after 7 days he restored him, then Job like, yo, I done everything right. Why did you put me through that for an extended period of time? And he never answered this question. He G-checked him. He said, Job, where was you at when I set the stars in the sky, cuz? Where was you at when I separated the land from the waters? You, I do with you as I please. You right now, ain't you? All right, then. You held up. You my main man. And here it is. When I look at the word, anybody God called, he allow them to be pressed out. Even in my personal life, I catch more hell. I'm the best version of myself I've ever been, but I catch more hell and hate doing and stand up for what's right. But that come with the journey, yo. And I get afflicted and vexed and all that. But I know what to do with it. Like I just go shut down, not shut down, but I just get to myself and I deal with the darkness. You know what I'm saying? I deal with the remembrance of certain things and because I don't want that thing to set in on me where I'm behaviorally doing something out of emotion and feeling that I ain't got no business doing and I ain't been doing. So if your emotions and feelings can lead your behavior and decision making, now you're led by emotions instead of the spirit. You know what I mean? Now I've gotten recently, I talked about being led by the spirit because there's so much bamboozlement going on. You can't tell what's what and who's who. Did y'all see that jump of Tupac?
See, that's the thing. If when you getting too much information, you're not going to be able to see who's who and what's what. You got to build that strong foundation. You got to build that strong foundation. The reason why there's confusion because you're listening to everybody. You listen to this guy over here, this guy over here, this guy over here, this one, and then you're trying to, and it's not that you don't have a right as a listener on YouTube to listen to whoever you want to listen to. It's not that. It's that when it comes to information, if you don't have that solid foundation, you're gonna get tossed to and fro because you don't know what's true. You're hearing a version of somebody else's story. You're hearing a version. And that's another good point. When you don't go to people directly and communicate with them, of course, you're going to get bamboozled. You listening to everybody. You're listening to everybody, sir. Instead of coming to me about the situation. It's like people study YouTube more than their Bibles. That's what I really believe. People study YouTube more than their Bibles. I'm telling you that. That's a fact.
The Warriors game, I seen that jump. I said, yo, AI is L. And this may allude to when the word say that even if he could, he would deceive even the very elect. But now you can't intellectualize this stuff, right? You got to be led by the spirit, you. Like, even though I didn't want to do it, my spirit, I didn't want to go back to work. My spirit led me back to a job, and everything was all right. You know what I'm saying? But in my mind, I don't want nobody trying me. I ain't going to take no more, this, that, and the third. Ain't none of that happened. It seemed like my hindrances or the vexations were removed. I went back 3 days, last week, whatever. I ain't heard nothing from none of these people. Just like it never happened. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is our protector. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting out of defending myself, yo. You know what I'm saying? And let the Most High do that because vengeance is his. And you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I ain't perfect. He's walking me through this, through life situations. I don't have to be necessarily perfect. I just got to be obedient, yo. Regardless of what, you know, the pride, what is that? The lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. Now, I don't necessarily, not in a worldly sense, just in my practical, you know, well-meaning, that's my issue. And I'm a whole lot more mindful of it when I get in that mode, right? I see other brothers going other places where they got digital ID now and all that. I'm like, well, I can't do it. I got the resources or whatever the case may be. I'm like, yo, why is it not happening, yo? I want to get out of here, yo. There's nothing here for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I just hear a lot of filibustering right now. And, you know, I'm going to leave that where it's at. Again, Brother Toothless, you could have came to me. You know, I feel like people just, you know, somebody can tell a lie so much it becomes the truth. And that's what I've been seeing on social media. You know, the guy you listening to has been putting thousands of hours worth of content on me for the last 2 years. I don't have that type of energy to match when I have several endeavors going on in life. That same person that told that lie, all they got to worry about is YouTube. They don't have a business. They don't have a website. They don't have a merchant hub. They don't have an LLC. That person over there don't know a damn thing about business. They don't know nothing about business. All they do is YouTube. They don't understand any of it. They don't know the type of grants we get from being business owners. They don't know nothing. They don't know how, they don't know nothing. All they know is YouTube. The person who's talking about all my business is just a spectator who don't know nothing. So anybody who's a successful business owner is Illuminati to them, and can convince his audience that that's true. The same person, mind you, this same person who has the same amount of subscribers as me, telling me to go get a job. He needs to go get a job. A person who works on YouTube, who only does YouTube, telling me to go get a job. It's all mixed up. All that guy does is YouTube. Don't own one other business. Don't have nothing going on. And that's the guy you listening to. Man, listen, bro. That man ain't even got a damn LLC, not a site. He don't own his name. He don't own his likeness, nothing. Just a MAGA hat and a YouTube channel. And this is the guy telling you I'm in the Illuminati. Somebody says you're not an Illuminati, but you're a frat boy. Nope, I'm not. I don't pledge frats. I denounce it. I denounce fraternities. I don't get involved in that. Am I going to look at everybody who's in a fraternity as a bad person? No. Is it something I want to get involved in? No, I don't. It's against my personal belief system. But that doesn't mean that I won't get information for somebody who is in a fraternity. Do you know how many Masons that you've met in public before? Who can give you some information? I'm not a part of no fraternity. I'm not in an Illuminati. I didn't sell my soul. All lies. I mean, it's not that interesting because the truth, pardon me, the truth is boring. Honestly, I should have ran with it. Yeah, I'm an Illuminati. Why not? When Cashapp and all of these actors and entertainers, they didn't get popping until y'all thought they was in the Illuminati. I should have just stuck to it. Maybe I would have got support. Maybe people will watch me if they think I done sold out. That's how messed up social media is. People start watching people because they think they sold out. Oh, is this Illuminati? I know the truth is boring. I get it. Somebody says, so you didn't pledge in college? No, I didn't. That's why I didn't graduate. They wanted me to pledge, and I said no. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe I should just sit here and just tell lies all day. Maybe I should just lie. Maybe if I just sit here and lie on Ringo all day, I'll get views. Maybe if I just lie on people all damn day, I'm going to get views. Maybe I'll get the support I deserve just by lying on people, because y'all supported him lying on me. Somebody said, Nubreed, you are sold out Yeshua. You are sold out Yeshua. What do you mean by that? What does that mean? Somebody said, that's crazy. People say the most and do the most. Right. Somebody says, yeah, that dude don't even know how to drive, but has 2 vehicles. I don't care how many vehicles he got, but you got this guy who sit on YouTube all day, just lie on me. Just lie. Dangerous lies. And I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't saying nothing, bro. All I know is you just can't keep on lying, bro. You just can't keep on getting on social media lying on people, bro. You just can't keep doing that. It may be prosperous for some time, but you got to pay for your lies. You got to pay for the conjecture that you put out there. You have to pay for that kind of stuff. God see everything. The Most High see me working late night on my certifications. He see me working with my team. He see me doing legit business. He see me going an extra mile to make sure people are successful around me. He sees the work, and the hard work is going to pay off. He sees my dedication to my family, all these lies being told, all these damn lies. Lies about my family. This person don't even know my personal situation, what I got going on at all, but gets on here and lies. Just lies. These are the same people that told y'all that when my daughter was born, told y'all on the internet my daughter was missing. So much so I had to get on the internet. So look, my daughter's here. Somebody said, did you sacrifice your locks? No, that's stupid. No, I didn't sacrifice nothing. I cut my hair because I got tired of them. I got tired of the locks. And I like how I look in a suit, cleaned up with the haircut. It just looked more fresh to me. Let me show you why I cut the locks. Sheesh, man, this is crazy. Oh, let me see if I can get to my I'm gonna show you why I cut the locks. I'm gonna let the ladies judge this, right? I'm gonna let women judge this. Because it shouldn't be these grown-ass men worried about my bald head or my locks. It shouldn't, this shit shouldn't be happening, bro. It just shouldn't be happening. But when people don't have nothing better to do, somebody say, I see what you're going through, bro. For real, man. Why these people won't leave me alone? Why these people won't leave me alone, bro? I'm telling you, man, it's crazy to me. Hold on real quick. Somebody say you Yeah. Y'all, I don't know what happened, y'all. Man. Yeah, you got somebody who actually convinced people that I blood sacrifice my hair. Stupid. It's so dumb, bro. That's why I don't be responding to stuff. I feel dumb responding to dumb stuff, bro. All right, so this is why I cut my locks. This is why. This is why right here. Tell me which one look cleaner. Tell me which one look cleaner to y'all. Ladies, tell me. Ladies, fellas, just fall back. If there's any women in the building, could you tell me which looks cleaner to you? That's me with locks. Or exhibit B, right? Exhibit B. Hold on. Let me go here. Shit. Because personally, I think this look more clean. I think this look more clean. Yeah. Somebody said, it's crazy how grown men worry about grown men. I stay out the way, even with women. If people believe, let them gossip. Yeah, I feel you. But too many people believe nonsense. I just feel like I look more clean. Tania says, I love you without locks, so handsome. See, that's what's up. That's what's up right there. Hold on. I got more pictures. Hold on. Let me go here. Hold on. Where's the one pic? I thought I had a pic of the bald head up on this jump. Yeah, look. Oh man, look at my boy, man. Look. Tell me we ain't twins, y'all. Tell me we ain't twins, man. You see this? See, this right here is what the grown women like. When listen, when I got this shaved head like this, all the 45-year-old women is on me. That's what I like. Bald head, beard. I'm just saying, man, it's a preference thing. If I wanted to grow some hair, yeah, I could. You know, I gotta, you know what I'm saying, put all this damn oil in there every day and all that. I don't know, man. I made an executive decision to change my look. See, let's let the ladies speak. See, this is why I cut it right here. This is why I cut it. This is exactly why y'all want to know why I shaved my head for this response right here. And y'all gonna mess around and get DM'd. I'm joking. This why I cut it right here. That's it. Once I put my suit on, I'm like, man, something don't feel right. I like the suit because I'm be wearing a lot of suits. Yeah, hair does grow back, by the way. Yeah. So this the reason I shave my head to get this response from the ladies. That's why they like it. They like it. I don't give a damn what the guys think of this one. But anyway, it is what it is, man. It just is what it is. But I thought I'd come through, spend some time with y'all on a Friday night. It's 8 o'clock. It's probably about that time to grab some food. Man, I want to thank y'all for joining. I want to thank y'all for joining. Hopefully, I cleared up a lot of lies. You know, I know it's not that sensational. If I did share the link, yeah, that's a good question. How that cat over there talking about bald heads when both his little butt buddies got bald heads? Makes no sense. But anyway, enjoy y'all's evening, man. I'm gonna be coming through with more content. Y'all be blessed out there. Thank y'all for